Digital Literacy Autobiography. So I grew up an only child, and I grew up in North Carolina. There's a picture of Norwood, literally very rural town for some background context. And my first technology that I learned to use was using a PlayStation 4, I mean PlayStation 2, and I played it by myself because, again, I was the only child there. I had Nintendo DS, Nintendo DSi, Nintendo DSi XL, and a PSP because I really enjoy gaming. This is the elementary school I went to. Very small Title I school, majority white, and we didn't have the best of technology, but we did with what we had the best that we could. And my favorite thing that was most significant for me in elementary school was the active board. And using the computer lab is where I realized that Apple products exist and that Apple products don't carry the same weight as the other type of brands whenever it comes to computers. And so using Microsoft Word was also another significant change for me because I had never been exposed to it before. And they made a big deal that this is what we're going to have to learn to be able to have jobs one day. And then once middle school began, I began my social media journey, and it completely changed the way I looked at the world. Whenever I was in middle school, having access to all of that information at once and comparing myself to others through the lens of technology. But I also knew that it was a whole lot of stranger danger on the internet, and it also was not the same as being on the internet at school. Because at school we weren't worried about that, but at home I knew that technology use, offer a little bit more leniency for dangerous things to happen. So Google was the next biggest thing for me that I used inside and out of school differently because I used Google out of school to look up the things that I was interested in and that I cared about. In school, it was only about what the teachers wanted me to look up and whatever standards I needed to meet within the classroom. Even though we had technology in school, we still did a lot on pencil and paper. I think that has a lot to do with things being kind of new to my teachers and probably just the age that they were at the time. And I also believe that once I came to college, that I felt more secure in having internet access and internet connectivity because at home my internet was horrible, and I first began having major insecurities with the internet once COVID hit because classes went from being in person to online. And then TikTok was also a major thing for me because I had to figure out how to still use that discernment between trusting what I've seen online, like I would with school resources, as I would whenever I'm intaking media from TikTok. And then one of my biggest things was discovering Reddit because Reddit was the first place that I was able to use my voice and be able to express myself without anybody knowing what I look like. And I learned very quickly how to make sure the way I typed didn't sound like I was black. And so it was one of my first places to be able to really have space to talk about things that I was interested in. I 100% believe that technology and digital literacy is a necessity in being able to be a successful educator because with the way school is going right now, if you don't know how to use these technologies, you won't be a good educator, especially with the way data assessments are set up now and being able to contact students and other stakeholders in education. And so this is a quote that I had got from an article, and I just basically want to use that to finish up how I felt about my digital literacy journey. And I feel like within this, it's also a little bit about the participatory culture within this article. And I feel like my vision is to be able to advocate for other people in rural areas that are struggling with the inadequate connectivity and the lack of guidance with the internet. And I also want to focus on being a voice for those students who are told that not having internet access is not an excuse. When it isn't an excuse, it's a reason. And I just feel like digital literacy is important for not only me, but for students and parents as well to understand how your engagement with the internet and your critical analysis of what you see on the internet, so basically your digital literacy, is very important with how the outcome of your life can be.